I'm excited to share with you Monday.com's October 2025 new releases. Check out the rest of this video to see all of the new feature updates.
Hi, my name is Tara, and I'm a certified Monday.com partner and the founder of Simple Day. My goal is to help you build powerful yet simple workflows with Monday.com. If you need help with a custom implementation, my contact details are in the description below. Let's jump into today's tutorial and make Monday the best part of your week.
Monday.com just announced that managed templates will leave the beta stage starting in November. In case you're not familiar with managed templates, let me explain what it is. Let's just say that you are a web design company, and every time you design a website, you need the exact same board within Monday.com because you have the exact same tasks and the exact same process. So, what you can do is you can create a template, and every time you have a new website that you need to design, you can just use that template. Now, what happens if after your fifth website that you've built, you realized, we really need to update our template because we're missing, let's say, a column? So, with managed templates, what you can do is you change your main template and it goes back to change previous templates that you've already worked on. So, you don't need to go back and manually change these templates. Another great feature release to the Monday WorkOS platform as a whole is the ability to hide the main table. Now, what the main table is it's basically all of the columns in your board. So you can see every single thing in one place. Now, it's critical to have this main table on your board because sometimes you need to see all the columns, but many teams don't need all of the columns. Maybe there's for certain people on the board, not everyone, or they do some background things like trigger automations, but you don't need to actually see them. So now, as you can see in this image, Monday allowed the option to hide the main table. Another new option that Monday.com added is the ability to create an item with a pop-up or a card, as Monday calls it. Now, beforehand, if I wanted to create a new item, I simply would go on my board, add the new task, and click enter. In this case, my task is to create a new YouTube video. Then I would have to go through every column and fill it out. Now what I have is the option to create it in a pop-up. So I click these three dots and I click settings, enable item creation by card. You only need to do this for the first time. And now when I go to create an item, you can see that I have this pop-up. So here I can enter my task, and it's actually really easy because I can enter in a whole bunch of other information, like the status, let's say who the person is, whatever I want, I can enter it in this view instead of having to scroll a lot. And I hit create task. I even have the option, I don't know if you saw that, to save and create another one. Let me just show you that again. If you see down here, I have save and create another one, which means that I can constantly be adding tasks in this manner. If I want to disable this feature, I simply click on the three dots again, go to settings and back to disable item creation by card. Monday.com also added some updates to their API. If you're not a developer and are not using APIs, you don't need to worry about this. But if you're either a developer or have a developer who's building out your Monday.com instance, it's worthwhile to check on what the new updated API options are. One of them is that you can have the API review all of the board's data and do some mathematical calculations based on all of the board's data. There's also a really great update to automations or workflows. Basically, if you use the automation that says every time period, so you had the options of days, weeks, and months. Now there's also an annual option. So what that means is that you can say every year, do this. And again, this is seen in automations as well as workflows. Monday Vibe received a huge update this month. It is currently out of the alpha version. What that means is basically anyone can start building apps. If you're not familiar with Monday Vibe, I definitely recommend that you check it out. It basically allows you to use vibe coding, which is essentially using AI to really quickly build apps, even if you're not a developer. You just need a few prompts and you can build your app. The actual usage and creation of apps within Monday Vibe does not have any associated costs. However, if you ask the app to do something that requires AI credits, there will be an additional charge for that. I'd love to see what kind of apps you're building when you test out Monday Vibe. Starting in November, Monday.com is making changes to the way that you will be charged for AI credits. Up until now, you received 500 AI credits per month. That's going to change. You're going to get a certain amount as a free trial, and anything after that, you're going to have to pay for. They also are changing how credits are calculated. The next important thing to note about this new monetization plan is that certain things are going to be free. This includes text to filter, text to workflow, formula builder, document assistance, update AI summary, and more. So I definitely recommend keeping an eye out what you're being charged for and what you're not under this new monetization plan. Monday Sidekick is now available on the Monday.com app, which basically means you can use Sidekick on your phone. If you're not familiar with Sidekick, it's basically this little cute star that you have next to every single item on your board. You also have it on the top of each board, and it's basically a place where you can ask AI anything. So you can ask it questions about your board, about a task, or something that's related. So if you're using the Monday.com app, you now have this functionality on your phone. The Monday.com CRM just added a new live editor to quotes and invoices. Watch this quick video so you can see how you can use the new editor. Monday Workflows is now available on Pro accounts. If you have a Pro account, which means you're on the Pro plan, you can build up to 5 different workflows on your account. You're allowed to go up to 20 with an additional charge. If you're not familiar with workflows, what workflows does is it basically takes your automations and allows you to build them in a visual way, but it has so much more functionality. First of all, sub items have a lot more things that you can actually do with them. They're more limiting within automations. You also can have different kind of statements. Like you can have an if this happens, do this, or if this happens, do that. So you have a lot more functionality that you can build into your workflows within Monday Workflow. Workflows has also added a new option to transfer ownership for editing rights of a workflow.
Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and remember to subscribe to receive tips and tricks on how to use Monday.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.